Okay, chat, I'm actually really curious about this. If Eula's burst hit with pyro damage instead of physical, and you melted it reliably, how much worse would she be compared to Maoika? She'd still be worse, right? Like, I'm pretty sure she'd still be worse, but I wonder by how much. You'll have to align it. I don't think it should be too much of an issue. You could just use your whole D on Ella instead of after 4 attacks. You do 4 attacks, dash, 4 attacks, hold E. Like, I'm talking if she stayed a cryo character. And you played her with C6 Bennett and like Pyro infuse her normal attacks, and you were able to melt a bunch of them. And her burst. I'm actually really curious. Should we calc that? Oh, we should. This is the content you signed up for, by the way. This is the This is the pinnacle of Genshin Impact content. It really is. Okay, we're also gonna assume that everything that says physical in her kit says pyro instead, like this. Oh, I guess that would kind of be cringe, actually. Oh, maybe we keep this on physical because this might yoink your melt. Yeah, this would yoink your melt. Okay, we can't make that pyro. Damn, that's a big deal. Fuck. Anyways. So, base attack 342. What weapon would we give her? Do we give her signature but pretend that the physical says pyro? That'd be fair, right? Moika's. Would it be better? Maybe. Yeah, I guess so. Plus 741. So, team would be Bennett, Shilonen, Sitlali. So attack percent, pyro resonance. No, we don't get pyro resonance, but we do get cryo resonance. Hey, that's Pog. Let's go. Okay. Team would be attack buffs, noblesse, TDDS. Does TDDS expire by the time we ult? It doesn't, right? If I remember correctly, it does if you're a little slow on the burst when you swap into her. But it doesn't otherwise. If I remember correctly, that's how it goes. For now, we'll assume we get it. You can swap if you want the burst to fall faster. That is true. You can always just swap. And we don't have Mika this time, so we don't lose our buff if we swap. Oh boy. Alright. And then let's say 20% from substats. Probably. Is this a Eula count? Yeah, we're pretending that I'm just gonna close that Reddit, but whatever. We're looking at how good Ella would be if her burst did pyro damage instead of cryo. Or instead of physical. So this would be 350 plus 1,000 from Bennett. Yeah, I should also have effective attack on cryo. E attack cryo. And then MV cryo. Okay, damage percent, we'd have Pyro Goblet. Pretty sure we don't do enough cryo damage for attack goblet to be good. We'd have Bennett C6. We'd have Sitlali. Cinder City. We'd have... Would we have Petra? Petra's probably not very good because it expires by the time your ult hits. Oh, right. Her damage is backloaded with her ult, so the ult won't get your Petra or your instructor buff on Shilonen. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's sad, dude. That's really sad. Let's assume you get like a little bit less than 50% uptime Petra. Alright, we also said that we're getting the Maoika signature, so that's 20%, no, 28% attack. Is that it? I think so. Does she get any damage from any of her stuff? Any damage percent? No, this shreds physical res. We're gonna change that to pyro res. And she doesn't get damage percent from any of this, no. Alright. EM, we're going to say 187 plus 80. EM multiplier. What artifact set are we giving her, though? I mean, I guess you'd want Emblem. How much ER would you be on? 150. 5 Shilonen, 1 Bennett E, Sitlali. I guess. Crimson Witch, maybe? Yeah, actually, you're probably right. Crimson Witch should be pretty fucking good. You're so right. You're actually right. You'll get 2 stacks. You're gonna average like 1.5. Your damage percent is gonna be plus 15% plus 1.5 times 7.5. And then your EM multiplier is gonna be plus 15%. Effective attack cryo. This doesn't move sideways. Whatever. Total attack multiplied by 1 plus damage percent cryo multiplied by multiplier. I forgot crit. So 98.4 plus 62.2 plus 20 times 6.6 plus cryo resonance, giving you 15%. Technically, you don't get it on all of the hits, but I can't be bothered. I don't give a shit. Plus 22% from weapon substat, plus 20% from weapon effect. I think that's it. And then we've got this. Huge. Then for this, no. I actually don't have this because I'm an idiot. Yep. And then this damage percent is supposed to be 7. And then this is the same thing, but without the EM multiplier. Okay. Motion value cryo. For now, let's just say this is cryo. I can't be bothered. So cryo damage, we'd have 1 press, which is 249. 1 hold, which is 418. 2 Ice World brands, 163 times 2. And burst initial hit, which is another 418. Motion value melt. I'm not sure exactly how it would line up, but I'd expect 4 melts on this. So 164.9 times 2 times 2 plus 104.4 times 2 times 2. So you get 2 of them and they're both melted. And then here we get 171.9 times 2 plus 104.4 times 2. And then we also get... How many stacks do you get again with this? Is it 10? I forgot. It's more than 10. 12 to 13? Is that true? Dude, it's been so long since I did calcs on this character. 12? Okay. Let's do 12. Oh yeah, let's also add 674.3 times 0.5. And then 674.3, no, 2 times 674.3 plus 12 times 137.8. Yeah, it's a pretty massive deal here. Is it that little for this? I guess so. No, it's not. I forgot the 206.9. It's what, 36, 56, minus 46, 20. Okay. Holy. This would actually be great. So she would actually be better than Moika. Holy. Not by that much. I think Moika's at like 120k. That's V1 Moika? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Let's do a slightly more accurate version where we properly distribute buffs. So wait, would the Bennett buff still even be active with this? It might not be. Uh-oh. Okay. Hello players in chat, all 3 of you, okay? When you play her with Bennett, what's the rotation you do and how tight is it to not lose your Bennett buff? Bennett Q before, like right before? Because you'd have to swap from Bennett to Citlali and then to Eula. So I don't know, I don't think your Bennett buff is still alive at the end there. You might have to swap early. It's not possible. You also may lose the Shilon and Res Shred. That should be fine, I think. I think with 0 ping, it's probably technically doable, but not reliable enough, so it's probably better to swap early. Okay, let's look at it for real. It shouldn't be worse than 5 Melt Seed Lally. It should be easier than 5 Melt Seed Lally. So less stacks, yeah, it would be less stacks. Like, we'd remove 2 of the normal attacks, and also 2 of the stacks. But also, this is, like, kind of not real. Okay, so let's take a look at here. For the burst, you'd lose Noblesse. Sorry, Noblesse. You don't last for long enough. We'll give proper Petra this time. And only 1 stack of Crimson Witch. But with the ult, we'll have 2 stacks of Crimson Witch and no Petra. Technically, okay, so this is going to be the ult. We'll also need... So this is start. Right, this is melts, this is non-melts. Well, this isn't actually how that works. It's, on cryo, on nothing. Write an E, Rosera E, and let E, Bennett EQ, Rosera UQ, and let Q, N4, hold E, N4. Yeah, that makes sense for the Rosaria combo. But Rosera's animation on just Q is faster than Citlali EQ, right? So we're only changing Illa's burst to be Pyro, but all the rest of the kit remains unchanged, pretty much, yeah. Like, obviously that's not a real thing. They'd never fucking do that. And if they did release a character that did that, they wouldn't provide as many buffs as Citlali does. But it's still interesting. You know, it's still fairly interesting. Okay, yeah, this would be the same. Yeah. But this, you'd lose 30%. Also, let me just double check something. Okay, yeah, we'll have good uptime on this. We're fine. This is fine. This is fine. Fine, yeah, okay. So now it's just the motion value that we need to change. Motion value, cryo, it doesn't matter when it happens. So we can just all put it here. Motion value, melt. Would be damage, DPS. Wait, that's worse. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's actually quite a bit worse. I forgot that's damage, not DPS. My brain read that as 145k DPS. But no, that's 1.4 mil DPR. Okay, yeah, no. So it's like half a Mawika. If Illa's burst did pyro damage, she'd be worth half a Mawika. And that's not... Wait, no. I forgot to include the physical shred as pyro shred for Illa. So it's another, like, 25, so plus 12.5 to the multiplier. 355, right? Cool. Huge. So she's like 2/3 of a Mawika. Kinda. I want you guys to understand, this is what I mean when I talk about Illa not being a good unit, right? If she had access to multiplicative reactions, she'd be balanced. maybe even on the weaker side. And she'd still have all her issues when it comes to gameplay. Jinchi is backloaded, but people still call her the best DPS in Eula? I don't think so. I mean, the thing about backloaded damage is that it's not inherently an issue, and there's multiple ways something can be backloaded. The main thing that makes Eula's backloaded damage a potential problem is a mix of a lot of Genshin's systems that Eula doesn't necessarily have. So, first, Genshin characters don't generate energy when they hit enemies. They generate enemies when particles fly to them after having hit enemies. That means if the enemy dies in between those two things, you just don't get the energy. Which means that overkill damage fucks your energy a lot more easily in Genshin than it does in Eula. That's the first potential problem. The second one is that Eula's backloaded damage isn't something you have control over, in the sense that for it to do its maximum damage, it'll just happen 10 seconds after having pressed the damn button. Right? So if the enemies move, and that timing happens at a wrong time, you're just sitting there like an idiot, and you're crying. With Jinchi, you always have control over when the damage happens. It happens when you press the damn button, you know? And sure, you can't necessarily press the button as soon as you swap into her, but it's still something where you have control over the precise timing of it. And the last thing is that buff duration is a lot more of a problem in Genshin. Because, one, you have one more character on your team, which means that if you have multiple buff characters, you are going to inherently have to waste buff uptime in order to get your other buffs. Right here, that's a problem, because we have to spend our Bennett time on Citlali, which means less buff uptime for Eula. In Eula, you have a healer slot that has a fucking 30-second buff duration, and then only one support slot that generally has a buff with a duration that's designed to line up well with your carries. I don't know who people play Jinchi with nowadays. So I can't tell you exactly for that, but I'm sure it's an outro buff that has a duration that lines up well with Jinchi's uptime. 15-second outro buff, yeah. The point I was making with this count was when a character doesn't have access to reactions that improve their damage, like in Eula's case, they need to make up for that with bigger numbers. Eula not only doesn't have bigger numbers, but she actively has smaller numbers. What physical is missing isn't supports that are good enough to carry Eula's ass, it's carries that aren't awful. Can you still clear with Eula? Yeah, for sure you can. But there's definitely some abysses where it's really hard unless you have an incredible build. You kind of sound disappointed that Eula sucks. I mean, the reason why I dislike Eula isn't because I think she's a cringe character with a dogshit personality who deserves to not be played. The reason why I don't like her is because her kit isn't very fun or strong. Yeah, if she was better, I wouldn't dislike her as much as I do. It would be nice if she was better. She's not. Remember when she was the most OP character in the game? She was never the most OP character in the game. Never even close. Abyss used to be easy enough that you could relatively comfortably clear with bad characters. And so her weakness used to not be as much of a problem as it is now. And because she's a limited 5-star that people really like, a lot of people had their best built character be her. Which is gonna lead to them being under the impression that she's the best character because she's the only one they've built properly. So yeah, obviously she's their character that clears the fastest. She's the only one with a fucking build on her. You know? Like, keep in mind, when she was released, right? The, like, good carries at the time were Hu Tao, Xiao, Ganyu and like Child slash Changeling, right? That was pre-Farazan Chow. Ganyu lol W. People did not understand how to play National properly, and did not build their Changeling well, and no one played VVV Putao at the time. And we didn't have double Hydro yet. Was Ganyu even good on release? I mean, yeah, Ganyu was good on release. People still play Bennett Zhongli Changeling. You know? She was never that great, but at the time, right? There was only one great team, and it was Changeling. The biggest downside to Ganyu was that she wasn't really a major upgrade to Changeling's teams, and you couldn't play her without Changeling. You could do the freeze teams, and it was actually pretty good at the time because content was a lot more freeze friendly. But it was still situational. She was called Cryo Amber before release. Okay, that thing is like so cringe to me because like, do you know why she was called Cryo Amber before release? Was it supposed to be a statement on her power? No! It was a statement on her gameplay. It was very accurate. It still is. But fucking attention-seeking casual content creators saw people say that and were like, oh no, I knew better. I knew she was better than Amber. No fucking shit! Everyone did, dude! Congrats! You have better opinions than a straw man. Ooh. You're one wolf with a strong diaphragm away from arguing with air. Anyways. But yeah, people called her Cryo Ember because her gameplay was charge shot gameplay. Which was the same thing as Amber. A charge shot focused character with a taunt on her skill and a rain of projectile on her burst. Like, ooh, what is... She's gonna get compared to a character that can also be described with the exact same fucking words? That's crazy! Crazy! Insane! Sorry, it's something that pisses me off, because it's like... it's annoying. That's what it is, man. I only got Ganyu back then because I liked her design and personality. Sorry, that was mean. I take a look at my enormous penis and my troubles start melting away. I take a look at my enormous penis and the happy times are coming to stay. I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants and the feeling's like a sunshiny day. I take a look at my enormous penis and everything is going my way.